Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, here to give you the State of the Saints podcast halftime report. At the half, the Saints are winning against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle by a score of 10-7. We're going to go over some stats from the black and gold real quick. You got Jameis Winston, who is 13 of 20. That's right, 13 of 20 for 164 yards and one touchdown as of right now. Alvin Kamara, 13 carries, 29 yards. Jameis Winston has 4 carries for 27 yards. You have Alvin Kamara, 8 catches, 109 yards. And you have Adam Troutman with 2 catches, 28. Marquez Callaway with 2 catches and 19 yards. Juwan Johnson, 1 catch, 8 yards. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for an offensive explosion, this is definitely not the game for you. This is definitely not one of those games where you think there's going to be a whole bunch of offensive fireworks. I mean, you got a whole half to go, but you got to really love football to like a game like this. And me personally, I can really care less as long as the Saints get the victory. We talked about this on the pregame show. As long as the Saints get the victory, I can care less, okay? The Saints had a 19-play drive, 19 plays, and only came away with a field goal. You definitely don't want to see that. But on the plus side, the defense got a whole bunch of rest. I think they were on the sideline for 27 minutes of real time. So that's something that's great for the defense, gives your defense a lot of rest. They've been playing extremely well. They've been getting Geno Smith off their spot. It looks as if the running game of the Seattle Seahawks are non-existent. The only way that the Seattle Seahawks can win this game is going to be at the arm of Geno Smith. All right? It's going to have to be at Geno Smith's arm. Geno Smith is the only way that they are going to win this football game, in my opinion. I mean, their offense is just non-existent, and he's going to have to make some things happen. The Saints, when it comes to the defensive line, I got to admit, man, looking at some of these teams across the NFL, the Saints got to have one of the worst defensive lines in all of football. And I'm saying this because Seattle has the worst offensive line in all of football. And I was reserving my judgment until this game actually showed its face, okay? The fact of the matter is, when you can't get too much pressure, you can't get to the quarterback on an offensive line that is not as good as them. Now, I will say they are getting pressure. They are getting pressure on Geno Smith, but it's not equating to sacks. So that is something that is very alarming. Something else that's very alarming, the presence of Tre'Quan Smith. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he just rusty as the Tin Man or he just – maybe the ball is slippery because it's raining. I don't know, but we definitely need more out of the Saints wide receivers as a whole, as a staff and mother-loving crew. We need more out of the wide receivers because this is embarrassing now, man. Like, this is absolutely embarrassing, the way that these guys can't get any separation. The only thing I got to say is thank God for Alvin Kamara. If Alvin Kamara was nowhere in this game, then I don't even think the Saints would have any points. Like, thank God, thank football Jesus for Alvin Kamara, because the Saints have nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing outside of number 41. And that is something that's very concerning. In the second half, I want to see the Saints be more explosive. I want to see the wide receivers get separation. This isn't like you're playing against the Rams or you're playing against even, one of these top-tier defensive secondaries like the Cowboys. You're playing against one of the worst defenses in football. These guys were on pace for the record for most yards allowed. And you're out here allowing these dudes to jam you up, man. A bunch of nobodies. No disrespect to the dudes, but I ain't just talking about they nobodies as far as them not playing football. They are somebody. But as far as the spectrum, the realm of the National Football League, these guys are straight hot garbage. And you can't get separation on these cats? Okay, I will say this, though. First quarter, Jameis Winston was completely inaccurate. I mean, he couldn't hit the back of a barn door. It was one pass that he threw to Tre'Quan Smith, which it was both of their fault. He tried to leave Tre'Quan Smith out there. Tre'Quan Smith stopped running. But there was a pass that he threw to Alvin Kamara, sailed over his head. So he just needs to calm the freak down. Calm down. That's all he needs to do. Once he starts to calm down, once he starts to see the field a little bit better, once the offensive line start blocking for him, that's when you start to see Jameis read between his progressions and make some better decisions. But the New Orleans Saints wide receivers, man, they got to step it up. This is sad right here. This is sad Sad stuff. Okay, like you can't get separation on these guys. They're not even that good. So that's something to me that is very, very alarming. Well, the defense is playing really well. The secondary is playing well. I know DK Metcalf had that 84-yard touchdown, which in my opinion, he pulled down Marshawn Lattimore to the ground. You know what I'm saying? In order for Marshawn to not be able to get leverage on him. But he has been quiet since. There's been a lot of join between those two guys. So I don't expect DK Metcalf to do too much because now DK has Marshawn Lattimore's undivided attention. I'm just being real. The secondary is looking good. Paulson Adebo is having a really good, go at it with Tyler Lockett. That's Stanford on Stanford right there, Cardinal on Cardinal. So he's looking up to that challenge. You know what I'm saying, to go up against one of his fellow alumni in Tyler Lockett. But I expect these guys to go out here and play better in the second half. Man, the Saints, they look very stagnant. Coming off a bye week, they look kind of stale coming out there, man. But they start to liven up a little bit. They get the ball at the start of the second half, so I expect to see more firepower and more emphasis on the run to try to get the heck up out of there with a victory. Can plan into the run, but they can't cover, and we keep running. Yes, we're playing terrible. I don't want to say we're playing terrible. These guys just not getting any separation. And you got to give credit to Jameis Winston because he's taking what the defense giving him right now. He's taking what the defense gives him. What you think about soft ass Andrus Peat? Well, look, I don't want to see any player get hurt. I don't want to see Andrus Peat get hurt. So I'm not. Look, I hope that man comes back. Like, I ain't trying to see anybody get hurt, man. You can have your reservation about Andrus Peat, but I'm not trying to see somebody get hurt and be cheering and happy somebody else coming to take their place. I can't be like that. We need to make a trade before the deadline, Marlon Mack or Allen. I don't think none of those going to happen. You got a better chance with Marlon Mack than Allen Robinson, to be honest with you. I hope someone else steps up besides Alvin. They are holding our defense, but I have to say the refs did call penalties on both sides. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fair tonight. I ain't got too much complaining. And we even got to admit, on that 4th and 1 with that quarterback sneak, you had Alan Troutman jumped off sides in the quarter. I mean, and the referees didn't call that. So, I mean, remember those if it comes down to a referee call now, because, they was calling it by the book. Our defensive tackles are all underrated. Yeah, I mean, they're good at stopping a run. They're definitely doing that. They just need to get pressure on a quarterback, for God's sakes. Let's see. Not worried about Tampa right now. We playing Seattle one game at a time. I ain't worried about no Tampa Bay right now. I want the Saints to win this football game. ATJ, are you doing another show after the game? Yes, I am. I am doing a post-game show. Mike T, Taysom, David, Turner, Deontay, now Pete, all needed. Man, look, I just want these guys to get out of here with this win. TJ, that was a pick by 22. No, it wasn't, because he didn't catch the ball all the way through. If it rolled out his hands out of bounds, and that wasn't what they consider a complete catch. Does Michael Thomas come back next week? I don't know. He might. It's week to week right now with him. Time of possession. Yeah, absolutely. I think that methodical drive, that 19-play drive, kind of sucked the air out of the stadium. You want to give your defense, your fans, something to cheer about. So those slow, methodical drives, what's going to help. But I'm about to go ahead and get ready for the second half. What I expect from the New Orleans Saints to get more pressure on Geno Smith. Make sure that they neutralize DK Metcalf. Make sure that on offense, they try to not just turn this totally into the Alvin Kamara show. Like, if Alvin Kamara getting off, fine, but don't just make it all about him. I want to see some of these receivers get open. Maybe if Alvin Kamara run between the tackles, him and Devon Ozigbo in the second half, it'll set up that big play. But I want to see the Saints come out in the second half when they get the ball. Hopefully they get some points, rather it's 3 points or they get 7 points out the deal. But the Saints are the better team right now. They are the better team. The Saints are a better team right now than the Seattle Seahawks, and they should win this football game. If they don't have any turnovers and they don't make any crazy mistakes, I think the Saints are going to win in the end. But thank you all so much for checking out the halftime show. Be sure to check out the post-game show immediately following the Saints game. Win, lose, or draw, we'll be right here on the State of the Saints podcast giving you all of the Saints content. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?